Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to the survival world. Today is finally the day where we start work on the project I've been teasing for a couple of episodes now, which is building our custom village in this area here. So there was once a village here. I've taken down all the houses, stowed away all of the villagers in their little spots underground, which will keep them nice and safe until they eventually come out long in the future when the village is all complete. And we've also got some cobblestone blocks going all the way around the area where we're going to be building, which is actually marking the wall of the village, which is what we're going to be working on today. If we just take flight here, you can see it's a pretty big area I've marked out for myself here. So I'm probably going to be working on this episode for a little while now, but no time like the present, right? We're just going to jump straight into this and start with the wall design. So I'm going to do a little section of the wall here so I can kind of run you through my thought process behind this design. Now, first things first, this is actually a little bit inspired by one of Fwip's village's walls that I saw when I was searching for some ideas on Google Images, and I just loved it so much I couldn't not use it. It's a very natural and free-flowing wall design as opposed to something that would be very symmetrical and rigid. So that works very well with the shape I've laid out here with all of the cobblestone blocks. And yeah, the main structure of the wall is made up of oak strip logs and spruce strip logs. And then on top of those, we have some fences and walls just to give it a little bit extra something. And maybe there can be spikes of something just as an extra defense. And then at the bottom, we have some bricks as the actual foundation of the wall, but then maybe over time it's been a little bit overrun by nature and it's got some grass and dirt being brought up, and I'm gonna put a bit of bone meal, get some extra tall grass, as well as a little bit of my custom granite texture, which is the same layout as the brick texture but with the granite colors, so it looks a little bit like the brick has just got dirty from all of the grass and dirt being brought up above it. So I think that looks pretty cool, and yeah, this is the wall design. I now need to do this all the way around. This is gonna take me absolutely ages. Oh buddy, this has taken me quite a long time, but we've got it all done now, and I think I'm really happy with how it looks. I was a little bit unsure when I first started doing a couple of the sections. I thought it looked a little weird, but I think now once it's done and fully completed, I think I'm happy with it. However, it is quite a big area. I don't think I really planned for it to be quite this big, so this village project is gonna probably be a bit of a longer one than I first had in mind, but that doesn't matter. It should be a fun one either way. And yeah, I still haven't figured out what I'm doing on the inside, whether I'm just gonna copy over what we've done on the outside with the brick and the granite. I may do that, or maybe just have brick, or maybe even just leave it blank. I don't quite know at the moment. Maybe you guys can help me out with that one. But you may notice there are two gaping gaps in the village wall, which is actually where our entrance and exit are going to go. So as opposed to the main entrance of the village being accessed on foot, it's actually going to be on the water. So all people who come into this village will have to do it via a boat. I may still add in a couple of smaller entrances, just maybe on a couple of the sides, mainly for me, more so than anything else, and maybe people who don't have a boat would need a way to get in, I suppose. But yeah, our main entrances are going to go here, and we have this river running through, which I think is going to be really cool. So yeah, I now need to work on this, and I think we're going to time-lapse this one over here, because it's a lot straighter than that one over there. That's going to be a bit of diagonal building. I've never done that really that well before. Let me just explain that again, because I don't think I particularly did it very well. So I've decided now there's going to be 2 or 3, maybe even a few more entrances dotted around the village wall, which is how all of the foot traffic is going to enter and exit throughout. So whether that's visitors of the village or residents who actually live here, that's how they're going to get in and out of the village. But the main gates that we're building up here is where anything on a boat is going to come on in. Obviously, because we've got the river running through, it kind of needs to be on a boat. So I'm imagining maybe fishermen who live in the village coming back from a day's of work, they'll come in and out through this way, or possibly even traders from other communities or settlements, they'll come in here with their boat full of resources, dock on up on the side, do some business with the people of whatever we're going to call this place, hop back on the boat and go on their merry way out the other side. So yeah, business and trade and other boat related things through the main gate, but any just singular people who want to walk around, they can go through the smaller entrances. So there it is, one of the main gates to our village. I've still got to do the other one over here, but let me actually fly on in and we can take a closer look at what I've done on the inside. So as you can see, we've got 2 usable doors on the front entrance here, not on the outside. We've just got a fence, as you saw in the time lapse, just so you can actually look out, which is quite nice. But yeah, we just have a staircase. There's lanterns all the way around, so there should be no mob spawns in here. Something I've got to go careful with during this whole village process. Not exactly sure how that's all going to go though. But up top we got our bell, as you probably saw, and some pretty cool views of the village, which is too far away. We can't actually see the other side, so maybe if we bump up to 16, there we go. We can see the other side of the wall. This is going to be a great spot to take a look at the village once everything is done. But we can go over to the other side and pretty much exactly the same thing, except this one is 1 block shorter, but you can't really tell that. And I think it's good to have that little bit of variation. Doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical all the time. But yeah, I am really happy actually with how this turned out. Once again, I've had tons of fun building this, and yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. You guys will have to let me know what you think about it. But now what I've got to do is basically the same thing as we've done here, but over here on a diagonal. Now, diagonal building is something I've never really messed around with too much. It's just a whole lot more difficult than building, you know, in horizontal and vertical lines. So this is going to be tricky. I'm not going to bother time-lapsing because it's probably going to take me a while. I'm going to have to do lots of tweaking here and there to get it to look like this, but on a diagonal. I honestly have no idea if this is even going to work, but I will give it my best shot. This was a challenge, to say the least. I spent a very long time in a creative test world trying to get this to look similar to our entrance and gateway over there, whilst also trying to make it look good. And I think I've done an okay job. I'm fairly happy with how it turned out. I've kept the main structure, like the brick and the spruce stripped logs over here. They're, I think, identical to actually what we've done over there. But the tops of the towers I had to kind of rotate a little bit and change up how I done things up there. Overall, I think it looks okay. It's passable at least, but the main thing I struggled on was this bridge going across. So as you can see, if I can just stop flying in the water here, hang on. There we go. Let's hop on up. You can see it's pretty symmetrical and very well connected and looks nice and sturdy and yeah, pretty uniform, I'd say. This one, it's a little bit all over the place and I think that's mainly because it's on a diagonal. So diagonal blocks don't really connect very well. Like if we just look at that, they're only connected on the corners. So I've had to use like a lot of trapdoors and stairs and fences and slabs and God knows what else to kind of make this thing look sturdy. As I said, I think I've done an okay job. Once again, you guys can let me know how I did with this one. But on the inside, I've done, of course, the same thing. If I just head inside and show you, we've got our door with our lanterns. Obviously, a nice little fence to look out on. Hello, cow. moo. And yeah, our staircase wraps on up round, and again we do get to the top and have to shift to fit under this little gap here, but yeah, we make it up to the top and across the bridge. Haven't been able to use campfires on this one, however, because being on a diagonal that would have looked a little funky, but yeah, once again, very nice views from up here. So now I want to start work on terraforming this river that is going to run through our village here, because at the moment it's very wide and there's a lot of like flat land over here. I have a feeling I might have taken that out for some reason, but I don't know why I would. It just looks a little bit as though I've done that because of this is only one block down in the water, so I kind of need to bring in these sides a bit and just generally make it look a bit more like a river as opposed to a pond over here because of how shallow it is. So happy with how it kind of winds round here. I like that shape. Obviously going to have to get rid of the pathway and tidy things up a little bit. But yeah, I need to do a little bit of that. I've done, actually, before we even started this entranceway, I terraformed a lot of the stuff under here because this was incredibly flat, so it looked nothing like underneath here. But yeah, if we can just kind of shape this to be a bit more like a river, I think is going to be a good thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and hopefully we can get something that looks a little bit nicer. Above the water level of our river is looking pretty good. The underwater part though could probably use some work at some point. I will most likely come along here and just seagrass the whole area a little bit and maybe do a couple more things here and there, but this was the section I was terraforming. I think I've done an okay job at blending it in with the rest of the river. Just looks like regular Minecraft terrain, doesn't it really? But yeah, we will improve this at a later stage, but for right now, whoops, keep on flying. I'm okay with this. It's fine for now. We will improve it, don't you worry if you think it looks a little bland. But guys, I have some very heartbreaking news to tell you. So you may have noticed him kind of wandering around the village and keeping me safe and all of the other villagers. An iron golem was here, and he's been here from the very start. He's taken quite a lot of beatings over time, and as you may be able to tell, there is a slight absence of him now. He is no longer with us. In fact, I have his remains right here with me, and I think to honor him, we are going to go bury him in a nice place somewhere within these village walls. Whew. Okay. Clank, despite only being named 30 seconds ago, the impact you had on my life and all of the villagers' lives was monumental and like no other. You were brave, selfless, heroic, and you always put yourself first. You took danger head on without a care in the world. You deserve better, and I thank you. I know I could have repaired you with iron ingots, but that game mechanic didn't originally come to mind until I've just remembered that now, so for that, I am sorry. You were the best damn iron golem I ever knew. Rest in peace, Clank. Rest in peace. Anyway, now we're going to build a boat. Woo! Just adding in the final touches here on my boat, and this, by the way, is my new note block texture. If I can... No, I can't ring it. It's a note block though, believe me. And I like it. It's meant to be a crate, except from this pixel here and this one here. They're very dark compared to the rest, and they just kind of stand out a bit. It looks kind of strange to me, so probably have to change that, but I'm never going to use regular note blocks in a normal build, so I thought I'd give myself an option for a crate to go beside our barrels here. But let's jump off the boat and take a look. And honestly, I'm quite impressed with myself with this one, right? Because I've never been good at building boats. It's always something I've struggled with, and I thought I'd give it a go and see if I could come up with anything good, and obviously since last time I built a boat, my building skills have improved because I think this honestly looks pretty good. If we just dive under here, you can see it does carry on a little bit underneath. It doesn't just stop on the water level here, but yeah, it's meant to be a little bit like a steamboat. We've got our campfire up the top then producing some smoke, and the driver or the coal shoveler would put some coal in the smoker here. Maybe I could actually use some coal on board. That would probably be a good idea, but that goes up and produces the steam engine somewhere in the boat. I don't know exactly, but we have our stick here to turn the boat. I don't know what this is called. I forget. You guys will have to let me know in the comments, but yeah, we've got that down there. Paddle, maybe? I'm not sure. And yeah, on board we just have lots of storage with all these barrels and crates, and I'm imagining this is a trader that lives in the village, hence why I've kept with the same block palette and style as everything else we've done with lots of oak and spruce. So yeah, they're trading, they're coming back with lots of resources from another community, but we could certainly mess around with lots of different boat designs, maybe have, you know, boats from different villages, a jungle one perhaps, or something a bit snowier using some darker woods. I think it could be pretty cool to actually have just quite a few boats flowing throughout this river. Anyway, I think I need to get away from the village for a little bit. I've spent a long time on this episode so far, and we've still got a little bit of time left, so I've got some odd jobs I need to get to in my world, which I've been meaning to do for a little while now, so I think we head back to base and kind of work on a few of those for the rest of the episode. First things first is to add in a mine shaft at the bottom of this minecart rail, which I think I must have left, yep, all the way down the bottom. But as you can see down here is actually where I do my strip mining, so this looks very, very bland and boring at the moment, and I think I need to do something that looks just a little bit better than, well, the natural stone around. We need to improve the looks here. Are you ready for the grand reveal? Get ready, because it's pretty normal down here. Honestly, I haven't done a whole lot with it. I mean, that probably goes to show with the tunnel going down. I didn't do anything other than make everything stone, which is what it was already before. Pretty sure I did that in a live stream, but yeah. I'm most likely never going to come down here again because there really is no need for me to go strip mining anymore, but we done the upstairs of it. We may as well actually make something that looks pretty decent down here. I think it looks like a mine, right? We've got some storage and furnaces just by the entrance here. Obviously our button to go back upwards, and then 6 mine shafts if I do ever feel like going strip mining, mainly just for enjoyment really. I don't think there would be much purpose in me going anytime soon, at least. I've got more than enough resources, but yeah, that's a good job done. I now need to take a trip to the Ender because my elytra and axe and shovel and basically everything else have taken a beating during this project. I really do like the iceberg biome, I'm not gonna lie. We've got all of this basically right on our doorstep. The home's only over there a little ways, and yeah, there's some pretty gnarly icebergs around, which we could certainly do something with. So if you guys have any base ideas we could do in the icebergs over here, then please drop them in the comments, and maybe that's something we can save for a future time. So I am all mended up and ready to go as soon as I've hung around here for 5 minutes to let all of these ender pearls despawn, because my dispensing system where I drop them into the void isn't exactly the fastest. So yeah, I've got to hang around for a little while. I should probably improve this. I could always do that today, but I don't really feel like it at the moment. I'm back home safe and sound, and now I need to do something about my food situation, because these 2 steak are the only steak I have remaining, and my main food source is these guys over here. This is how I get them on my free range animal barn, spinning away my horse and my cow. They enjoy themselves over here, that's for sure, which is a really good thing. That was kind of the purpose, to have my animals be free range and roaming around and have a good life until I eventually do need their food, which is what I'm trying to do in my world here, kind of take a little bit better care of my animals. But it's pretty difficult to kind of maintain a lot of steak, which I get through really fast with a design like this, or a way of getting them like this. So I don't really want to... Onyx, what are you doing? I don't really want to have to do this, and I was trying to avoid it, but this is just really slow. And until I get golden carrots, steak is really the best, next best thing. So yeah, I'm unfortunately going to make a not so ethical cow farm just hidden away somewhere, because it's me or you, cows. It's me or you. I have had to resort to melons. This is an all-time low for me, honestly. I'm starving over here, but thankfully the cow farm is now done and in place, looking super ugly, along with everything else around the back here. None of it's permanent, all kind of temporary until I make better and more permanent farms. But yeah, this is a design from OMG Chad. I will try to remember to leave his link in the description to the video. So the way this works, it's pretty basic. You guys have probably all seen something like this before, but we press the water button, and they bob up and down, and we can breed them up, and then some babies are produced. If we press the button again, you can see they fall through that trapdoor there, because they most of the time don't land on it, I think. And yeah, they're pretty small, but once they grow up, we can actually press this button, which will trigger some lava to come out of here, burn them alive. What I actually may end up doing is using my looting sword, just so I'll get more steak that way. But if I want cooked steak, that's the other option here, and then it all goes into this barrel. So yeah, I'm going to breed up the cows for a little while and see if I can get myself a good steak supply. Whilst I wait in between breeding sessions, I'm actually going to go back and read and reply to all of your guys' comments from the latest episode that went out last week, and see what some of you guys have come up with for name suggestions for our cat here. So yeah, gonna do that and pick my favourite. Okay, comments have been read, and as always guys, thank you so much for leaving all your comments and feedback. I always do really appreciate them and really enjoy reading through them all. But yes, I have found a name that we are going to call our kitty here. I had some really good suggestions, but she is going to be called Asher. No, Asher, come back. She's running away. So that was a suggestion, if I can say it properly, from Sean Duggan. So thank you for that one. I think she really, really suits it. That's a lot of cows. Something straight out of a horror movie, if you ask me. But yeah, there's plenty in here. I've just been breeding the ones up in the top section. You can actually flip down that trapdoor to kind of release the babies and breed up more if you want to. So, is that the shadow? I think it is. That's crazy. Yeah, if you're wondering how I got so many up here without entity cramming being a thing, because it's usually 25 mobs in a single 1x1 area and they will start to die. You can actually change that. It's like a /game rule mechanic into the game. So because I'm on my single player world here, not part of a server, I don't have to be a responsible multiplayer player, and I can set it to whatever I want. So I think it's like 125 or something like that. Mainly I used it for the skeleton farm because 25 is such a low number. But yeah, we have a ton of cows, a circle of cows up here, which are ready to be, you know, bred for children down here, or babies down here, which there's only the few we bred up at the beginning, I think. I just want to kind of test if my looting sword is even going to work. Yes, it will. Okay, that's good. I wasn't sure if the vines were going to cause an issue or not, but yeah, I will use that for now. And how much did we get from that? 7. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So yeah, there are tons of cows here. Hopefully this should sort me out for a food source. Unfortunately guys, that is where we're going to have to call it for today's episode. Look at the two awesome entranceways behind us. I've really come around to the diagonal one. I like it now. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you ever so much for watching. A lot of time has gone into this one, so a like would be very much appreciated. Thank you in advance for doing that. But anyway, I will see you in the next video. Thank you again for watching. Bye for now.